Welcome to Rogues on the Road. Discovered in 18012, naked and afraid under the deep and unforgiving canopy of Central Park, this indigenous duo sold their share of the Louisiana Purchase, swam to Port Chester, and set up shop with their co-host, the Stand-By Gypsy. From their humble beginnings, Rogues on the Road has quickly become the longest-running and most popular food and beverage podcast in recorded history. So, sit back, pour a cold pint, and tighten your spray skirt, you ninny muggin.
All right. Welcome to Rogues on the Road, Take 2, where we talk travel, food, beverage, everything in between. I'm Matt.
I'm Ninny Muggin.
You're Ninny Muggin?
What's a Ninny Muggin?
Oh, that is a classic movie. How do you not know that?
How do you not know that?
I don't know any movies.
That's from your country, mate.
You know that.
Sort of.
A Ninny Muggin.
A Ninny Muggin, elf.
Yeah, I'll have to look.
Don't be a cotton piggy. Don't be a Ninny Muggin.
On that note, I'm Rich. We've got our boy Gypsy in the corner.
What's going on, mates?
Very
The
good.
Stand-By
Gypsy. You've outdone yourself, Matt.
That was good.
That was great.
That was for all of our British fans and our South Park fans. Or, sorry, our Little Britain fans.
Britain.
We'll do South Park.
And elf fans.
And elf fans,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And we've got a good friend of mine, Asha LeRay, here with us, all the way from Boston. And she's going to be talking about her exciting venture with Food Allergies Unboxed.
Yeah.
And so, welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Well,
welcome.
Thank you.
I feel like we're going to learn a lot about what it's like to exist with food allergies and have a semi-normal, if not a totally normal life, which is
Yes.
pretty cool. So
And Matt will fire the relevant questions at you, and Gypsy and I probably will not.
Yeah, I'll just say,
Sounds good.
can you eat rice? Can you eat French fries?
right.
Stuff like that.
Notice there's no beverage here. We didn't want to bring a beverage.
I see.
We weren't sure. Normally we have some kind of adult beverage, but we decided to not do that today.
Okay.
So we can do that after.
Sounds
there you
good.
go.
Sounds
So
good.
Pub down the corner.
right. So we we're redoing the whole.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's a redo.
Gotta kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Gotta let the people know what's up.
So we had we've had a fun couple of weeks. So we got a chance to work with Food and Beverage Magazine.
The three of us.
The three of us.
Yeah.
And we were able to interview in probably 20 to 40-minute interviews with some amazing distilleries, craft beverages, wines. We all know what RTDs are now.
Yeah, ready to drink.
Well, look at you.
I know.
Whoa.
I learned something.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a term. Yeah.
Don't worry, just sit next to me, Rich, on the test.
All right. I got you. Send me a text.
That's all. Yeah.
Nice RTD. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a thing.
There's a cream for that.
Yeah. Keep
3
it clean.
days. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so we probably interviewed maybe 20
20.
different companies back to back.
Yeah.
And we will be airing them shortly.
Yeah.
So,
We're gonna call it the beverage series or the lost tapes or the lost beverage tapes or
I like it.
Or something.
something like that. But
Something
we'll
LTBs.
RTDs.
Yes.
But we'll be releasing those over the next few weeks on podcasts on food and beverage. So
You have a list of a few of the companies that we
yeah, you want me just
So with-
yeah. You
Hang
may
around.
so Swish 30. That was interesting.
Yeah.
She has a hangover cure.
Yeah. Claddagh Irish whiskey, Brockman's gin, phenomenal.
Superb.
Wolf Spirits, Blood, Sweat and Tears, Tom of Finland. Tom of Finland was a famous artist who's on the front from the, what Freddie Mercury.
All right. His
We'll do a post.
I know the word.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to think of
That
it.
was
I know
really cool.
That was cool.
Gypsy Vodka,
Yep. Shout out to Michael. Sending us some stuff.
Cardinal Spirits, and Callao Whiskey, which was amazing.
Was he the fella with the beard?
Badass.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were great.
They were awesome.
Yeah,
They were
great,
awesome.
great guys. These guys,
I've seen him more live.
yeah, they take single malt from Japan, they barrel it over there, and they ship it to Scotland. They do the majority of the aging in Scotland, which is really cool. Sagamore Spirits, Jack Shoot, those guys. Buzz Balls.
Buzz Balls.
Those
Buzz
are
Balls.
RTDs developed by a teacher. A teacher.
The irony.
Sitting by the pool on her summer break, realizing she needed something that was not breakable by the pool. And so I'm
came
doing
up with the
I'm
Buzz
doing
Balls.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Genius.
Budvar House of Rosé.
Yep. She
Yep.
was very cool.
Yep. She was very
French and
she was very
well educated and enthusiastic.
yeah, and very fragile. She was very like
Did she come in a box?
she was like a
She was like a fine rosé.
Asha, she was like a porcelain doll.
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
Yeah, everything was perfect.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eau Claire Distillery from BC, British Columbia.
Yep.
Burke Distributing, Kashasa Dave told us how to do caipirinhas.
Very good.
Phoenix, Kelly Rappa, who is my friend. She also owns a Kashasa brand, and I think they want to have a duel
Oh, cool.
Oh, we should definitely do
We
something.
on
will-
caipirinhas.
we will judge that
yeah,
for you.
Yeah. The Peruvian government showed up with a bunch of piscos, sorry, and Tanduay rum, and of course, the end of this week we're releasing
The big one.
the big one.
fish.
Yeah.
Dum, dum.
So be on the lookout for that.
We also met with a guy who gave us a whole education about what they're doing for alcohol awareness in today's youth, and he was brilliant.
Yeah.
Supported of the beverage industry.
Yeah.
but
Responsibly.
Yeah.
totally, absolutely.
Yeah,
and
and-
it was a nice breath of fresh air in a big.
Breathalyzer fresh air.
Yeah, it was very different, and
Yeah.
what they're trying to do to promote responsible
Yeah.
consumption across the board, which was pretty cool.
It was
So,
brilliant.
Good stuff.
That was good.
and then
The three of us are heading up to New Hampshire in a
Yeah.
couple of weeks to help host an event at the Portsmouth Music Hall.
yep, we'll be up there.
It's a British band revival event for a good cause
Called Big Brothers Big Sisters of, I want to say New England. It might be smaller, like New Hampshire or Maine, but I think it's Big Brothers Big Sisters New England. They're almost sold out. It's a night of classic British band rock.
Love it.
And one of the Queen singers is actually kind of a big deal. We're actually going to be interviewing
Oh, awesome.
the lead singer,
Oh, I can't wait for
who's
that.
actually endorsed by Queen.
Oh,
Yeah, that's cool.
wait, what's his name?
Come on.
Queen.
No, not Freddie Mercury. I mean, the guy we're interviewing.
Fella. We'll find out.
I will.
All right.
Yeah,
I didn't mean
yeah.
to put you on the spot.
Yeah, you don't have to go research that unless you want to.
No, I'm just curious. Just curious to know who it is.
He has
So-
a copyright on that information.
Yeah, he gave us a whole bunch of information. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So and then the next day,
Yeah.
the three of us and a camera crew and hopefully a drone are going on a commercial fishing boat out of Portsmouth, and we are going out to fish.
I heard we're going scallop fishing.
I know.
I heard that
I
too.
don't know. I know you've got your scallop.
I've done some
You've
research.
got your scallop pants on.
I'm ready, man. I've learned about bivalves. I've learned their high protein, what wine it goes with Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
You know,
You say that well.
I've learned about adductors, the meat of it.
Yep. And how sustainable they are, and
The dredging equipment.
dredging equipment. Yeah.
Scallop seeding.
Scallop seeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that good stuff. And now it's all wasted.
It's all gone. It's a short season.
You can be on
Thank
the
you.
table, man.
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk about it.
But we're going to catch things like wolffish, maybe.
I'm just
we
gonna-
could catch a North Atlantic halibut just for the halibut.
Oh, we're
And-
catching scallop? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And if you get hurt out there, we can call sturgeon.
Oh, yeah.
I think you did.
I did that
Oh,
one.
yeah,
I did that one.
Me
Yeah.
too.
did
I did that one.
All right. I'll move on.
I'm just cotting.
Did you that? Yeah. Oh God.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. So that's in 3 weeks. So we'll be doing Facebook Live.
And if you're
We're gonna
interested
be-
in coming up,
Yeah.
let us know. Make
Yeah.
sure.
Awesome.
Should be a,
So so that's what we got going on.
so Asha's up here.
Yeah.
From down here, from Boston,
Yeah.
across here from Boston, for the week in Hudson Valley. And
right.
what have you guys been doing?
Well, we came down a few days ago and we're doing some hiking and just exploring the area. I brought some friends that had never been here, and I wanted to show them the beauty of this area and just go on some adventures. And we've been staying in an Airbnb. So
Nice.
it's been really awesome. We
And the weather's been
hiked-
perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect today.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
hiked Lake Minnewaska.
Oh,
So,
beautiful.
it was
Little
gorgeous.
windy, but beautiful.
Yeah, it's quite windy.
Yeah.
But
Have you been up to that area before?
a long time ago.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I've been in Boston for about 11 years now, so I guess it was probably 15 years ago that I hiked
Yeah,
it the first time.
Right.
So yeah, it was
And
great.
Asha and I used to work together at a special needs school, and Asha's an OT doing similar work now up in Boston.
Yep.
And I started a new company called Food Allergies Unboxed. And what's that about?
Yeah, so my daughter, who's 10 now, was diagnosed with food allergies when she was born, basically. Well, 3 months, so
Okay.
pretty close to being born. And she lives with life-threatening severe food allergies and is anaphylactic to milk, eggs, peanuts, tree nuts, pork, mango, and sunflower. So it's a lot. And basically, I cook from scratch every day, every meal, and try to keep her as healthy as I can, despite all of her the allergies and the other medical stuff that she deals with.
Does she deal with it well?
She does, yeah. She's acclimated, and basically we just think of life as a picnic, and we just bring food everywhere we
Yeah,
go.
I'm sure.
So this business has kind of been created out of showing other families what I do and how we can still live an awesome, adventurous life and go traveling and see new areas despite living with all these allergies. So,
Right.
yeah.
That's a workout.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
And do you think it's also because if she experienced this from a very young age, has it become kind of like she knows the routine at this
Yes.
point, what she can do, what she can't do?
Yeah. She is a great self-advocate at this point, and so when she goes anywhere, whether it's school or someplace with her friends, she tells everyone what they need to do to keep her safe and knows how to keep herself safe, because even just contact with the allergens can
Can
cause a
cause
reaction.
anaphylaxis.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So we have to be super careful. She's had anaphylaxis quite a few times. The last one was within this last year, and so it's severe. So we just always have to be so prepared. Anything we do, even
Right.
just a day trip or a trip to wherever.
Yeah.
So a trip like this, where it's a whole week, is I packed everything in the kitchen sink basically.
Right.
Wow.
And it's got to be easier now that she's, how old is she, 10?
Yeah, she's 10.
So she can be her own advocate as
Yeah.
opposed to when she was younger, you were
Absolutely.
having to educate everyone. Wow.
Is there
Yeah.
enough education as far as recipes that there's enough diverse food, so she's not eating the same 3 things
Yes.
every
There is
day?
now.
There is.
Yeah. So that's actually one thing that my company is doing, or I'm doing for other families, is creating a database or a weekly recipe subscription that basically I send the recipes every week. So between 7 and 8 of them, because I feel like that's enough of variety, but not too overwhelming. So people can try new recipes that maybe they haven't seen before, or if they need inspiration.
And we just posted on the link.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, your website.
Great, yeah, and so that's a weekly thing, and they just pay monthly and get new recipes every week, and try to keep it new, because that's the thing. I've heard a lot of kids with food allergies, they get stuck in a rut, stuck in a food rut, and
sure.
it's really easy to get stuck in a food rut, especially having to cook everything. So luckily my daughter's not picky at all. The only thing she won't eat is cooked carrots, which I think is so weird, but whatever.
Everyone's got their
Everyone's got their thing.
everyone's got their cooked carrots.
I know. She tries everything, which is great, of what she can eat. So, I've come up with a lot of recipes just cooking from scratch.
And is eating out
easy.
not an option?
It's a very rare option.
Oh, sure.
So we have a list of
Yeah.
maybe 2 or 3 places that I feel totally comfortable
We
bringing her. So it's tough.
we just had an incident. I'm not going to go into the details of who, what, and where.
Yeah.
But this incident, parents went in with the child and severe cashew nut allergy. They had gone a year before, and that's when they knew they were dealing with some kind of some kind of reaction, and they were very clear to the server, and they were not aware, and everything was black and white laid out, and they were totally confident that there would be no cross contamination, meaning something was right
from another pot or
from another pot, another pan.
Fryer.
This is what my wife deals with, cross contamination on a daily basis, and it's very frustrating. And basically, this child got served cashew nut. She was within a couple minutes from the hospital, thank God. 2 Epi-pens on board, and subsequently spent 24 hours in the hospital. And this was after, it was basically, we're good.
Yeah,
we
well-planned.
we are nut free. We know the chef is aware. Everyone's aware, and they went back after and said, hey, is there an update? And they didn't want to
Respond.
They're
Yeah.
not saying we're not angry. We just for safety reasons.
I think a lot of people
Yeah.
take it lightly.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, they're going to vomit, they're going to get a headache, but
Yeah, especially when I say milk allergy, people are like, "Oh, she's lactose intolerant." So I have to say no.
No.
It's going to cause anaphylaxis,
Yeah.
and
I
we
remember-
actually had a similar cross contamination issue. That was the last anaphylaxis bout in the fall. It was a cross contamination issue from a kitchen or from a place we had eaten before. Same thing. They knew the plan. We knew the plan. We did everything right, and so.
Did they know where the contamination came from?
It must have been the only thing we could think of was the person touched something and then touched the food, or it touched the pan.
Right.
And so, I called, and they actually retrained the entire staff over the weekend.
oh, good.
Wow.
It happened on a Thursday. They retrained the staff Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and they called me Tuesday and said, we're so sorry. We retrained the
Good.
entire staff about
Good.
cross-contamination.
That's
we take
great.
it very
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
So it was the
Education's
best
the
case
key.
scenario.
Yeah,
even
it's-
if it happened, and
Right, and understanding from hey, we're going out, we're taking the chance to go out, but there's always that chance,
There's
and
always
to
a chance.
and to be prepared for it.
yeah.
I used to work for the airlines, and I remember I would have parents come up to me when we were boarding the flight asking to clean the plane.
Yeah.
For peanuts, because obviously they serve peanuts on airplanes. Do you travel using airlines at all?
Yes.
Other public transportation, and do you do that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we clean the seats usually on the planes, and luckily every time we've flown, we've been able to pre-board, which means
Right.
we get on before the passengers, like what the people used to ask you, and as well as the seats at movie theaters. We clean those
yeah.
and cover them. So they have seat covers we use sometimes, or I just have her, make sure she has long sleeves and long pants on.
Right.
So yeah.
And what? So, if again, I mentioned this earlier, but there's all these conspiracy
Yeah.
theories, right?
Right.
I talked to a few people that have quite a few people that have had severe allergies. My wife developed severe gluten allergies and dairy allergies at the age of 40.
Right.
Is it companies like Monsanto and spraying and is it because our food is processed too much?
Yeah.
Is it big ag? Why aren't other countries
Having these same problems.
having the same
Yeah,
problems?
yeah.
Are they having the same problems and not reporting
Acknowledging it, right?
Not acknowledging it. What are your...
And I mean, like you said, there are so many conspiracies.
Yeah.
The most interesting one I've heard was, kids born between the months of September and March in the northeast of the country have the highest risk because there's the least amount of vitamin D because of the sun. And I was like, whoa. Okay, I don't know what I can buy into and what I can't. But I think from what I've seen, and I've always been interested in the food in our country and how it's been so industrialized.
Right.
I think a big part of it is how our food is made and how processed it is, and
Yeah.
how, like you were saying, the Monsanto and the spraying of all the crops, and especially the wheat, because wheat from other countries doesn't necessarily cause as much difficulty in people like the wheat that's grown here. So I don't know.
I mean,
There's something to be said about it all.
It could be
know?
a whole host of
Exactly.
Probably a combination
variables.
of all of that.
Yeah.
Right. People even say that the mass amount of antibiotics we give children have wiped our guts clear of the flora of bacteria, the good
Yeah.
bacteria, and that we need to help process these things. But
And allergies aren't usually genetic, right? Like handed down.
Well, they're also saying that's one of the newer things that's saying that there is a genetic component. So it's I think it's multifactorial.
Right.
There could be a genetic component. There could be, environmental, what people have been exposed to, whether it's through food or environment. And then, it's
You just have reactions, allergic reactions to foods, as opposed to seasonal allergies and stuff like that.
Yeah, and she I guess technically has some environmental allergies, mostly to pets.
Everyone does, don't they?
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
I just
do.
don't like cats.
No cats. I don't. I'm very allergic to cats.
I used to rub my face in the cat before I went to school. And then by the time I got to school, my eyes were swollen shut, and they would send me home with pink eye.
Oh, that's
Oh my
great.
gosh.
That's great.
Was that intentional? Did you mean to do that? Oh, you mean to-
100%. 100%.
right before you
You can only do that so many times.
Ferris Bueller over there.
Absolutely.
I
And
want
his last name's Froman.
Yeah, right, which is perfect.
Yeah.
King of sausages. Over
Yes.
there. Yeah. So I want to talk more about the food allergy unboxed.
Yes.
How long does it? What's the process like? How do you figure out the recipes? How do you put a box together? How do people get it?
Sure. So basically, so the recipe subscription, and it's kind of like Blue Apron, but without the food. If you've heard of those
Yeah.
meal boxes that you get sent with all the food in it, it's basically that without the food. So it's a big recipe card. I have a database that I go through and make sure that I look for good recipes, I try them, and I swap out any of the ingredients that need to be swapped out to make sure that it's top 8 free. And what I do is upload it to a
What did you say?
top 8 allergen free. So top 8 free means that it's free of the top 8 allergens,
Okay.
which are
Dairy,
let's see, wheat, dairy, fish, shellfish,
Nuts.
nuts, peanuts, and
Fish.
She said that.
Oh, she said
said
that.
fish. Oh my gosh,
Pork?
I'm terrible. I should have written it down. It's
That's
not.
okay.
I got top 8 allergens.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The big 8.
I say it so much. And
Wait,
I've
1,
got
2,
7
3,
out
4,
of 8.
You got to
so
think of
let's
like
see
an
which-
anagram or something, whatever it's called.
Which I missed.
The big 8 comprise milk, eggs, fish, crustacean, shellfish, tree nuts, peanuts, wheat, soya.
Soya. That's what I forgot.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Soya is soy. So.
Okay.
Yeah. And so just making sure all the recipes, including the oils and the flours that are used, are all safe.
That seems like a daunting task. Just
Yeah.
because it's so.
Probably to start with, but once you...
It is. I mean, I think now dairy-free and nut-free and gluten-free diets or lifestyles are becoming more popular.
Yep,
This
correct.
stuff is so much more mainstream than when I
I'm
first
sure.
started cooking for my daughter, because 10 years ago there was barely anything.
Right.
And now it's, we can go to any store and find something for her
Right.
to eat, where 10 years ago I would literally have to bring every single ingredient.
And is
Right.
that because more and more people are having these allergic reactions?
Yeah, as adults.
That's
And
crazy.
Yeah.
also, I believe there's an increase in how many kids have it. I think 1 in 13 kids
Yeah.
right now in America have food allergies.
So
So it's like 2 in every classroom.
Right. So you've created, our system has created a consumer base for people with allergies. So if that new consumer base is created, it makes money.
Damn, that's not going to spur my conspiracy theories at all.
No. Oh.
Ooh.
We'll ask Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely ask Frank. We already know his
Yeah,
answer.
so finding the recipes, basically I'm helping people save their time, and be
Right.
able to spend their time with their kids instead of searching online and going down the rabbit hole of finding good recipes, finding good tasting recipes, and figuring out how on earth to substitute, say, like eggs or milk or, different ingredients. Like,
Yeah.
I've been doing it for so long, it's rote to me now.
Right.
So I really want to help people who are just beginning or at the, within the first few years, that they're
That's
still
great.
looking for steadfast recipes that their kids like. Yeah.
That's a huge bonus for people because it's like, now I've got to get the ingredients. I got to make sure that the ingredients are truly allergen free.
Yes.
And it didn't used to be truly allergen free. It was like, well, you know, okay, it doesn't have it in it, but it was made in a facility where there was lots of powdered milk flying around, you know?
That ain't going to work.
That's not going to work. But now it seems like it's gotten a little easier to do that, but it's still...
And there seems to be so many different aspects, like when we go out with you and your wife, like the amount of questions she has. She knows she knows her restrictions, but she might have something fried where something that she's allergic to has just been fried in 2 minutes earlier.
Right, it was, you know, it's the dedicated fryer.
Yeah.
Like, who would know what a dedicated... that's old school for me at this point. But those are the questions. Like, yeah, no, it's gluten-free.
Yeah.
But you fry the falafel. Yes, we fry it, but it's gluten-free. But did you fry other things in the fryer? Yes. You know, so it's like those things are...
That's tough.
And there's an emotional toll as well, and frustration on families and loved ones and
probably expenses.
Right.
It's so expensive.
I'm sure.
Yeah. There is a big emotional component. I mean, it's so hard for my daughter when she goes to say if we do go to a restaurant and I call ahead and I'm like, okay, great, they sound like they know what they're doing, and we get there and they're like, yeah, we cannot do that.
Yeah.
And it's devastating to her because she just wants to be included just like everyone else.
Oh, a birthday party.
Yeah, birthday parties are a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sure.
Like when I hear like,
have a cupcake.
Oh, great, pizza and cake. Oh gosh. So yeah.
And then you have the families or the people that make something, and they put all this love and effort into it,
and then they lie to you,
and they, you know, you can't have it.
Can't have it.
You can't have it for
Or
whatever reason.
Yeah. I basically have a rule, like she can't take food from anyone at anything we go to unless it's like
something you put together.
Yeah, like passed by me, or I've directly talked to the people who are giving it to her, just because of there's such a huge risk.
Right.
And they just want to love on her, you know. They just want to.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So now my thing is, okay, she loves this. She's obsessed with Sour Patch Kids, and it's all sugar and all chemical, but she can have it. So that's what people give her.
That's so
and
interesting
like,
that she can have something quote, unhealthy, but
exactly. We go all natural or all chemical.
I know.
That's
is there
the
iron? Does that deepen the rabbit hole conspiracy?
Oh, absolutely.
I can't wait to hear about this conspiracy.
Well, what I was saying is that I don't think there actually is, but I'm just saying it's to someone's bottom line benefit to have all these kids sick, because now they can charge them for all these special recipes and all these special foods and high-end food, because we all know it's more expensive to eat healthy.
Yes.
So let's make the community sick, so they have to buy more expensive food.
The man.
If there is one. Yeah. The man behind the curtain.
Dun, dun, dun.
I saw a statistic the other day that I think it was about like 99 cents for a box of of regular standard pasta, and then it was like $5.99 for a box of gluten-free pasta. Right. So it's I think just
we pay $6.99 for a loaf of bread.
Exactly. Yeah.
And people that are gluten-free and eat gluten-free bread and make it, why do you make it smaller than normal bread?
Because it costs more to make bigger.
Everything's smaller.
Everything is
smaller
so
portions.
Small. Yep.
Is that branding, marketing, or is it more expensive for them to make it the same? Is it because the regular bread and other products, it's cheaper to make it so they can make it bigger? Because I've heard that, like, a real chicken is smaller. Like a real, because of all the crap we
like an organic chicken is smaller.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's, you can also, again, you were also creating a consumer base.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are costs involved to assuring that foods are not contaminated, what it's like to run a facility without getting those the top 8 allergens completely out of food processing facilities. It's difficult.
It's like the dedicated fryer, but dedicated plant.
Right.
Especially for gluten.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you go to public places like an airplane or a movie theater, do they have to make an announcement for, like, this is a nut-free flight?
Yeah, so we've gone on 2 different airlines, and the first airline, it was, can I say it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we flew Southwest. I'm like, I don't know.
Did you just say Southwest?
Did you just say Southwest?
Southwest
Airlines.
Southwest.
That's my favorite airline.
We use them all the
They're
time.
great.
Yeah,
I will say, like, they were amazing the whole way. For
Asha,
real. Like, just a little shout out to Southwest.
That's
but
awesome.
They let us pre-board. We cleaned the seats. They had all leather seats, which is so much easier than cloth.
That's great.
And they made an announcement that they weren't going to be serving peanuts on the flight.
Good.
They can't assure that everyone is not going to eat anything they have in their bag, but it was at least not mass,
Right.
distributed.
Yeah.
So
Here's your cup of coffee in your bag of nuts.
yeah.
It's that's the other, like, people are aware now that allergies, they're real.
Right.
You
Real.
You may, and people
You don't want that on your conscience either. Like, I
Right.
don't want to be on a plane eating a bag of nuts, and I've sent this
Exactly.
poor kid to the hospital. Like,
Right.
I don't need that in my life.
Right. It's
Yeah.
I'm back in the classroom for a short stint, and I brought in brownies. Right. I was all nervous. I'm sitting there going, okay, like, I gave them to one specific kid because they won something, but I had to make sure. I'm like, listen, don't pass this out to anybody with allergies.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee anything on this, and you get nervous that something's going to be passed on to a kid with a severe allergy, and I don't want that on my conscience. I don't want it to happen to. I don't care about my conscience, actually. I care about the kid.
The kid to be safe. Yeah.
That's an awful.
Oh, damn, did you just throw me under the bus
I
for
did.
saying I don't want this on my conscience, that I don't care about the kid?
I do care. I know I do have a conscience, but I do. First off, I want to make sure the kid's okay.
I think you out-moraled me.
Fudge. With no nuts?
Great catch, sir.
Yeah. No shit.
And you blew a completely clean podcast.
yeah.
This was the only one that we didn't have to put an E on. I still think we don't have to put an E on this one.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Explicit.
Oh. We're good.
Oh my god.
So FAU has been going how long?
Oh yeah, I started it over the summer last year, so less than a year actually. But it kind of came out of, like, everyone asks me 3 questions: how on earth do you even survive? How do you, like, still go on, adventures? And, like, how do you cook that much?
Because she's cute.
And she's super active, so
Right.
you'd never know she was sick or
Right.
she had these chronic illnesses.
Right.
And so it kind of grew out of, I guess I have something and I guess I can help people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so I started growing an Instagram account and Facebook. So it's kind of been social media based. I've got about 630
Subscribers. That's nuts.
followers,
That's
which
great.
is pretty cool.
Great
I'm like, oh my
community.
gosh! Every time it's still so new to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got 5 more,
Do I
and
know
it's like
them?
real people,
Right.
and
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know them, which
Right.
is so cool.
Rich, don't say that's nuts.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone might get sick. Don't say that.
that's not top 8 free.
Say
This is explicit and top 8.
yeah.
Are there other companies like yours?
There are some. There's, in the allergy space, there's a whole bunch of bloggers. There's a bunch of people who are all about food allergy awareness and advocacy, but I haven't found one that's doing a recipe subscription.
Yeah, that's
or the course. Like, so
Right.
I also created this course, but like, just to help new families. And
You might be onto something.
there
my friend.
are trainings. There are things out there like what I'm doing, but it's hard to find, and it's not in a format that anyone wants to go through right now. Like, it's like all reading, and I'm like, oh my god, nobody's reading
How do you
anymore.
absorb
Everybody's
that?
doing video.
How do you absorb that? Yeah.
Yeah, so the course that I created, the Food Allergy 101 course, is basically a video series database
cool.
that goes through each aspect and, like, how to do
It's
things.
the
So-
quick look that I got. It seems like it's very manageable. It's not daunting. If somebody is new to food allergies, this is a great place to start. If they are new with kids, if they are adults with allergies,
Yeah.
it's a great
Resource.
starting spot, and to where you feel like you're all alone in this fight.
And extremely
and
affordable.
very affordable. Your 101 course was just under $100.
Yeah, just under 100, because I really want to, I could have gone free, but it wouldn't have been as good because it took a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, if I'm going to invest my time, I want people to
Absolutely.
commit to actually going through it. And when you have a money exchange, there's like more commitment, right? It's like the gym. If you
Right.
just had a free gym,
You're not gonna
you
use
wouldn't
it.
be as excited
It's like
to
the
go.
treadmill in the basement.
So, yeah, it's like the treadmill in the basement
That's right.
idea. So if you pay for a gym, you go. If you pay for a course, you're going to take it more likely
Right.
than if you just got a whole bunch of free info. And it's really streamlined. It's a process. It's a framework. So I go through how to plan well, how to eat safely, and how to communicate clearly.
Right.
And it's, from all the way from organizing things, how to travel with your Epi-pens, how to carry food, and then how to make your kitchen safe. What do you have to actually throw out and replace because now it's already contaminated if you have been newly diagnosed, like those hard to
Right.
clean,
Wow.
bakeware things
Yeah.
and dishes,
Yeah.
and then communicating. So the course is built for parents, but it could be taken by anyone, including adults who are just diagnosed. But the first thing I talk about in the communicating clearly is how to talk to your kid about it,
Yeah.
no matter how young they are.
Yeah.
Like I started talking to my daughter when she was really young about it, and just giving her the language to prepare herself,
Yep.
and it paid off huge
awesome.
because
great.
now I don't even have to remind her. She tells it like it is.
She
Which
knows,
is great.
She knows the
Yeah.
consequences.
It sounds like you're living a very, very normal life with your child. It requires just some
Organization.
Organization, yeah.
some planning, and it's manageable.
How-
Yeah, and the other piece is the school piece
I was going to
because
ask you that, right?
yeah, like I work in a school, so I work in a school all day every day, and I know what's manageable for teachers. So of course I'm only going to recommend what I know could actually be followed by teachers.
Right.
And so that's a unique perspective I have because a lot of parents that have kids with food allergies aren't teachers or aren't in
Right,
schools.
they just don't
so
know.
they are like, oh, you have to do 700 things. I'm like, no. It's
No,
like,
it's real simple.
keep it simple.
Yeah.
And that's the key. And that's what I've always lived by. And that's what's worked. So that's what I want to teach other
Absolutely.
families.
That's awesome.
Brilliant.
So, yeah.
That is great. Thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
on and sharing. I think this
Thank
is
you so much
this
for having
is
me. This is great.
a great.
It's a nice change from a normal topic.
That's what we're all about.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've posted this. If you have questions, you can just click on the link. Again, it's Food Allergy Unboxed. There's a course. There's all sorts of support, I'm sure. There's recipe boxes and even tags. And thank you for coming on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks
Having
everyone
me.
for
It's been a
listening.
blast.
We, you know what we have to do? We have to get a recipe box, try it out, and we'll report back to you.
Oh yeah, I'm
Okay.
down.
That would
That'd
be
be
awesome.
awesome.
That would
Can
be
I
so
eat
fun.
cod?
You can eat cod,
Scallops.
scallops, cod,
All right,
Haddock.
just checking.
wicked good.
All right.
All right, cheers. Thank you
All right,
all for
thank
listening in, and we'll see you next week.
All
Take
right.
care.
Take care.
This is Rogues on the Road
Well-
with Matt Froman and Rich Marshall, where we talk food, travel, craft beverages, and everything in between.